It is over for the fraud boys. And anybody who has lived in this country long enough knows that when Wicked Blogger Ghana says something is over, it means the era is shifting for real. Ghana has entered a new chapter, and the fraud ecosystem, the same one that has been feeding thousands of young men and turning some of them into overnight social media celebrities, is now facing the kind of serious heat it has never faced before. The Economic and Organized Crime Office, led by Raymond Archer, has pulled off a move that the fraud boys never saw coming. And whether the streets like it or not, this time the boys don't have any backdoor escape route. EOCO is coming for everybody, from the keyboard scammers to the crypto launderers to the poker face bosses who sit behind computers abroad and control networks in Ghana and across West Africa. For years, the fraud game has been hiding behind technology. The boys switched from mobile money to Bitcoin, from Bitcoin to alternative tokens, from alternative tokens to mixers, privacy wallets, VPNs, proxies, and all kinds of digital tunnels. Each time the system tightened, they found a new way to disappear their money. And one thing they depended on was that no African government had the legal authority or technical know-how to track, monitor, and confiscate crypto-linked money laundering patterns. But now, Ghana has completely changed the rules. And this time, the fraud boys are stuck in the middle of the battlefield without their usual cover. The new permission granted to EOCO under the Mahama administration is not small. It is the kind of permission no African enforcement agency has ever held. EOCO can now investigate, freeze, track, and confiscate cryptocurrency assets that are tied to fraud, romance scams, business email compromise, darknet transactions, or international wire manipulation. It means for the first time, Ghanaian law enforcement can enter the digital bank accounts of fraud boys. And the boys hate it, but there's nothing they can do. The days when they used crypto to stash away money they couldn't explain are gone. The days when they took dollars from victims abroad, ran it through mixers, and cashed it out through local vendors, as if it was clean money, finished. The same boys who used to brag about clean Bitcoin are now shaking because the system has exposed them. And the main reason is Raymond Archer. People used to think EOCO was just an office where files go to sleep, a place where big men bribe their way out, a place where fraud cases take 10 years before something happens. But Raymond Archer came in with a different energy, the type you only see when someone understands both crime and technology. He didn't come to play. He walked into EOCO and turned the institution from a dusty enforcement outfit into a modern intelligence engine. He didn't come to make noise. He came to work. And the way he is going, if you are a fraud boy in Ghana right now, the best thing you can do is repent, relocate, or prepare your prison uniform, because this man is not stopping until the game collapses completely. This movie EOCO just made is bigger than what most people think. It is not just about Ghana, it is about Africa. For decades, international agencies like the FBI, Interpol, Europol, and Homeland Security have been begging African countries to update their cyber laws so the global community can properly track crypto-based fraud. But African governments were slow, partly because they didn't understand the full danger of digital laundering. But Ghana has now become the first African country to secure the legal and technical right to dismantle crypto laundering networks from the ground up. That alone puts pressure on every other African country. And if Ghana is serious and EOCO keeps working with this new aggression, it will force Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, and others to adopt the same strategies. This is not something the fraud boys can escape by switching tokens. They've been using Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Tron, Monero, Litecoin, Solana, and even illegal mixers. But now everything is being monitored. The permission Ghana has obtained gives the country access to international blockchain intelligence tools that map transactions, identify wallets, and detect laundering patterns within minutes. So the boys who think they are smart because they hide their coins in multiple wallets, swap tokens, or rely on offshore crypto accounts are now being tracked down. Even when they move money through 10 different wallets, the system can follow them. Even when they use mixers, the technology can still run pattern analysis to trace the original wallet. The fraud game depends on anonymity, but Ghana has now acquired the tools to break that anonymity. The international world has been complaining for years about the rise of African-led online scams. Romance scams exploded and tens of thousands of victims abroad blamed West Africa. Business email fraud became a global threat. Investment scams grew. Crypto scams multiplied. Fraud boys became influencers, content creators, and lifestyle motivators. They built mansions overnight. They bought cars they couldn't explain. They rented apartments they couldn't maintain. They posted money on social media like they were allergic to poverty. And while they were bragging, the global community was watching Ghana and Nigeria like suspects holding stolen goods. Ghana took that seriously. The Mahama government wanted to send a message to the world that Ghana is not a playground for international criminals. And if EOCO does this job well, it will do more than protect the country. It will bring foreign investors who were scared of the cybercrime wave. Companies abroad don't want to lose money. They don't want to operate in a country where scammers control digital spaces. They don't want to risk their data, their funds, or their clients' information. Ghana stepping up means foreign businesses will find the country safer for investment because enforcement is finally matching global standards. And when enforcement strengthens, crime weakens. Fraud will not vanish completely, but it will no longer be a casual career path for Ghanaian youth. Right now, fraud is normalized. Young boys believe it is easier to scam a foreigner than to start a business. They believe the fastest way to buy a Benz is not through work, but through wiring someone's grandmother in the United States. They believe fraud is a lifestyle, not a crime. And because so many boys escape punishment for years, an entire generation grew up thinking fraud is legal if you don't get caught. But EOCO is ending that illusion. When boys start getting arrested, not just for scamming, but also for crypto laundering, the game will collapse. Ghana will start to look like a place where fraud is expensive, risky, and unattractive. The new generation of boys who are currently considering entering the game will rethink their decisions. Parents will fear allowing their kids to join the fraud circles. Communities will stop celebrating boys who suddenly become rich without explanation. Girls who normally chase fraud boys for money will begin to avoid them because nobody wants to end up as evidence in someone else's case. The way Raymond Archer is moving, he doesn't just want to arrest the boys, he wants to cut the oxygen supply of the entire fraud ecosystem. And once you take away the money laundering channels, fraud dies automatically. You can scam someone abroad, but if you can't turn the stolen money into spendable cash, you are stuck. You can't generate digital currency illegally, but if EOCO freezes or blocks the wallet before you withdraw, your game is over. And this is exactly what is coming. Ghana becoming the first African country with crypto confiscation authority also means every fraud kingpin in the region will feel the heat. Ghana has become a threat to their networks. Ghana's intelligence can now expose operations across West Africa. That means fraud boys in Nigeria, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, and Liberia will no longer be able to use Ghana as their money cleaning station. Ghana used to be the safe zone where foreign scammers could hide money, but not anymore. EOCO will catch them. And when Ghana starts arresting foreign fraud boys, the whole continent will pay attention. This move is bigger than fraud. It will push African countries to adopt crypto regulations that protect their economies. It will help stabilize currencies. It will reduce illegal outflows. It will prevent young people from falling into the quick money trap. It will force people to embrace legitimate entrepreneurship over shortcuts. It will clean Ghana's international reputation. It will reduce cross-border crime. It will break down high-level syndicates. It will protect the banking system. It will help reshape African financial policies. It will make digital crime harder to execute. The ripple effect of Ghana's decision will reach everywhere, from Accra to Lagos, from Kumasi to Abidjan, from Tamale to Nairobi, from Takoradi to Johannesburg. And EOCO, under Raymond Archer, will stand as the institution that started this shift. Fraud boys will fight back. Of course, they will try to switch platforms. They will try to hide their money offshore. They will try to use underground crypto channels. They will try to stop using exchanges. They will try to keep their coins in hardware wallets. But all those tactics only delay the inevitable. Eventually, the system catches up. Eventually, someone slips. Eventually, someone talks. Eventually, someone sends money to the wrong wallet. Eventually, EOCO tracks a pattern. Eventually, one arrest leads to 10 more. And that is why Wicked Blogger Ghana is saying it straight. This time, the fraud boys cannot escape. The landscape has changed forever.